guys, welcome back to the Truffles Guy channel. I'm Santiago, the Truffles Guy. Today we're gonna make one of my favorite recipes in the world, a 15-minute orange chicken. It's a kind of salty, sour and sugary chicken, incredibly delicious and incredibly easy to make. In just 15 minutes you'll have a lunch that will blow your mind. So without further ado, these are the ingredients we're gonna use today. Here's the list of ingredients we're going to use today. You can pause the video right here, or you'll find a list written down in the description box. If you hear some weird noises in the background, it's just Truffles and Arequipe playing. As you can see, they're paused right there. We're going to use a couple of oranges. You can replace this with about a cup of orange juice, but the fresh thing is always better. We're going to use about 3 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. This is just to give the sauce a bit of a salty tang, but if you can get it, it's okay. You can omit it. We're going to use about a cup of flour. And as you can see here, I have the whole chicken. I'm going to teach you how to remove the bone from the breast, and as you can see it's pretty big, so I'm just gonna use half of it. Apart from this, we need oil to fry the chicken, about a cup and a half or 2 cups, and completely optional, some sesame seeds to sprinkle at the end and make our dish look beautiful, just an aesthetic thing. And the green part of a scallion, we're gonna use this to decorate as well, but it's completely optional. Okay, let's get to it. We're gonna start by deboning the chicken. As I was saying, I'm just gonna use half of it. You can skip this step if you have the boneless version. I'm just gonna start by cutting at the top here for us to be able to remove the skin like this. And now we want to cut almost completely in the middle. If you're gonna cut this breast, you wanna cut that way. And for this breast, you wanna cut the other way, just like scraping the bone as you go along. So you make a cut like this. There's the bone, as you can see. So you just scrape with your knife, trying to get as much meat out of it as possible. And as easy as that, you have your breast. I'm gonna do the same with the other side. It's as easy as that. You can keep this bone to make a chicken broth, a chicken stock, as well as the skin. I'm just gonna freeze this other breast. We're gonna use just one for this recipe. Now we're gonna cut this chicken breast into small cubes. So we're just gonna cut slices like this. And these slices, you can cut them in 2 or 3. So you have small pieces, small bites, and you put it in a different bowl. The chicken's done, so now we're gonna squeeze the oranges to get the orange juice. So I just cut the 2 oranges in half, and we're gonna squeeze them in a bowl like this using a strainer so the seeds don't get in the way. If they're ripe, you shouldn't have a problem squeezing them. Now I'm just gonna use a spoon to make sure that all the juice flows out of the strainer, and we have just the seeds and some of the pulp here. And that's it for the oranges. Now we're gonna cut the garlic. We're just gonna give it a quick chop. So we remove the tail like this, and in order to peel it, we just apply some pressure with the flat part of the knife like this, and the skin should come right off like this. And once we've peeled all 3, we're just gonna give it a quick chop like this, and that's it, just a rough chop. All that's missing for now is chopping our scallion. As I said in the beginning, this part is completely optional. It's just an aesthetic thing to sprinkle at the end on top of the chicken. We're just gonna take the green part, we're just gonna use that part, and we're gonna chop it like this. That's all we need to do with the scallions. Now we're gonna use this flour to coat the chicken, but first we're gonna make like a mixture in order to thicken our sauce in a minute. We're gonna take about 1 tablespoon of flour, put it in a different bowl, and add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of water, and just dissolve it. You can use cornstarch as well in order to thicken a bit the sauce, but since we have flour already in the ingredients list, why not use it? Okay, now we can move to the stove. We're gonna use a pot to pour the oil and fry the chicken, and a pan to make the sauce. We're gonna start by heating the oil, just some low heat for now, the pan as well. We're gonna pour our orange juice here, along with the garlic, the sugar, and the soy sauce. As I was saying, the soy sauce is just to give a little bit of that salty flavor, but you can just add salt, it's no problem at all. We're gonna mix this so the sugar dissolves, and finally we're gonna add our flour and water mixture right here. This is gonna help thicken the sauce a bit, or you could just add a tablespoon of cornstarch, give it a quick mix, and we're just gonna let this sauce cook for about 5-10 minutes so it starts to thicken, and we're gonna let the oil heat as well. Now we're gonna coat the chicken. We don't want to do this too early, because if we coat the chicken and leave it like 10 minutes to rest, it's gonna soak up all the flour and it's gonna become soggy. We want to do this as the oil is heating up, so as soon as we coat it, we can start frying it. I just sprinkled some salt on top of this flour, and we're just gonna coat each square of chicken breast like this. Really simple. Just a quick toss in here. As we coated the chicken, they all must have reached the desired temperature, so we're gonna start frying these pieces. 5 minutes have passed, and as you can see, the sauce is already thickening and it's starting to get like a caramelized color. That is because of the sugar. It tastes amazing, and they all should be in the desired temperature by now. To check, we're just gonna place a chicken piece inside, and as you can see, it starts to fry immediately. That's how we want it. We don't want it too hot because then the chicken won't cook in the inside. And I'm just gonna place as much pieces as I can get in one go. Now we're just gonna let this chicken cook for about 7-8 minutes. The pieces are not that big, so it shouldn't take too long.
A few moments later.
The chicken has been cooking for about 7 minutes. It's taking a lightly brown color. It's difficult to see on camera. So now we're gonna take it out onto some paper towels to drain the excess of oil. Once you've drained the oil, the chicken should look something like this. And while it was frying, our sauce should have thickened a lot, like you can see here. Now we're just gonna put our chicken right here. We're gonna mix it in, and we're just gonna let it soak the sauce for about 1 or 2 minutes. Minimum heat. We don't want this to dry out, just so the chicken soaks up all of that flavor for about a minute or two.
12 seconds later.
A couple of minutes have passed, so we're gonna kill the heat. This is done. It smells incredibly delicious. Now we're just gonna pour it in a bowl. You can sprinkle some sesame seeds and the scallions, or do whatever you want. I'm not your dad. And now we're just gonna eat, relax, and be happy. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. This recipe is amazing. I just want to marry it and eat it like for breakfast, lunch and dinner every day, all day. Oh my god. It's sugary, salty, sour. It has a bunch of flavors mixed in it, and it's incredibly easy to make, as you saw. Make it one of these days and I'm sure you'll fall in love with this recipe. Show it to your friends and family so you help this channel grow a bit. Once again, my name is Santiago, the Truffles guy. I'm just seeing Trufia and Arequipe play. They're like really crazy today. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next recipe. Bye bye.